of a thousand veils. Lady of a thousand veils. I am the Holy Grail. I am the
Peace and love. You're tuning in to Daughter of the Old Wise Serpent. I am Spica, the Mother Star. And I woke up with another epiphany today that I'm going to try to convey. And I would like everyone to open your ears and listen without any reactions. I want your reaction, but I'm not going to tell you how to react. Anyway, we're going to talk today about principalities and powers and the war that went on in heaven versus what they taught us, why it was going on, and the real reason why the war broke out in heaven. All right, we're going to talk about Ephesians 6 through 12. But before we go there, I want to talk about the war that was going on in the heavens. In Revelations 12, 7 through 8, and there was a war in heaven, and Michael and his angels fought the dragon or the serpent, and the angels fought back, but basically Michael got a stronghold on it. They were talking about this particular war that was going on. And it talks about Michael and the other angels fighting and casting Satan or Lucifer, whatever name, because there's always a discrepancy, down to this earth. And also, let's look at the Islamic verse where it said that God told the angels and Iblis to bow down to Adam. And Iblis said, I'm not bowing down to him. He's made out of clay. I'm paraphrasing. Yes, and let's look at also Surah 1850. Behold, we said to the angels, bow down to Adam. They bowed down except Iblis. He was one of the jinns and broke the command of his Lord. I want to talk about that because in the Quran, Allah says that no one is to bow down to anyone except Allah. So if I was Iblis and I was being tested, I wouldn't bow down to no clay either. Yeah, I don't understand what part people don't get with that. If the Most High or Allah says you don't bow down to nobody but Allah, and then Allah is one to test because he says this is a test, and then you say, hey, I'm not bowing down to him because you made him out of clay. I don't think the fact that he was made out of clay is where so-called Iblis went wrong. It's the fact that you're not supposed to bow down to none other but Allah and leave it at that. You know what I'm saying? Because a test is nothing more than an experiment. You know what I'm saying? All right. So there was a fight that, according to Revelations, there was a fight that broke out in the heavens for Iblis to get thrown down to the earth. And in the Quran, it talks about Iblis being thrown down to earth because he didn't bow down to Adam after Allah told him, number one, you don't bow down to nobody but Allah. And then he tells them to bow down to Adam. And then Iblis is like, I'm not bowing down to Adam. And so now he got to get out. It was a catch-22 because first is, oh, you do what you're commanded. But he was doing what he was commanded. But I guess because he's like, hell no, I ain't bowing down because he created out of clay and I'm created out of fire. But when I woke up with my epiphany this morning, it gave me the verse Ephesians 6 through 12 about principalities and powers in heavenly high places. Wickedness, principality and powers in heavenly high places. Let's take a look at it. It says, for Our struggle is not against flesh and blood, but against the rulers, the authorities, the powers of this dark world, and against spiritual forces of evil in heavenly realms. That's an interpretation by someone. All right. But this is Ephesians 6:12. You could go look at it, I guess, in the King James. And then it says, "For we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, powers, rulers of darkness of this world, spiritual wickedness in high places." Ephesians 6:12. We really need this. I'm going to say it one more time. For we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against the rulers, against authorities, against cosmic powers over this present darkness, against spiritual forces of evil in heavenly places. What is it saying? Do you comprehend what's being said? Because the Most High is above all the heavenly spheres. The Most High is the Most High. And it seems to me that the true fight in the heavens began because they said it's not a wrestle against flesh and blood. The wrestle was against evil, wickedness, and forces in the heavenly realms and high places, as if the Most High was corrupt. Yes, people will say, "Oh, that is blasphemy." But I did not create these passages. It's just divine inspiration that comes to me because I am here for the truth. And the truth does have many sides. And it depends on whose perspective you're being brainwashed with constantly. Someone else's perspective is being brainwashed and your mind is not able to think outside the box for itself. Many of us are brainwashed by the religious views of how whoever interpreted the so-called, was they even books in the beginning? They interpreted these stories and put them in the books. And it's like basically forcing you to pick whose side are you on? But you have to really, really, really understand what's being said. It was very ironic. There is no one above the Most High, correct? And so therefore, it was a war that broke out because someone was willing to stand up to corruption and evil in high places and was cast down here, so to speak, or cast out because they were willing to fight. But the stories keep being flipped around to say, hey, people need to realize that according to these books that the Most High created good and evil. He created all things. Everything moves off of his command. So-called the light beings was created not to disobey, while the fire beings was created with free will, and the clay beings was created with free will. And they said that the clay beings were of a higher status than the light beings. This is what's being said in the Quran and the Hadiths and the Tafsirs and things like that. Which brings me also to another topic that I want to bring up, such as the Golem. They were also beings created by clay. Once you put the name of the Most High in their mouth, I believe, they are indestructible. They will do the bidding until the bidding is complete. But once you take the name of the Most High out of them, they are powerless. And the last time I checked, They said that Adam was created out of clay. I feel like Adam is a golem. His progeny is the golem. You created out of clay. You created out of mud. They said we were created out of mud. But we don't know the name of the Most High. We've been given false gods. They have removed the name of the Most High from us. They give us false gods. That's just, another point that was coming out that I would like for people just to do some research on these stories. It's always important for us to know who's telling this story. You feel me? So the golem creature was created by clay, magically brought to life, and is something incomplete or finished. And I know that it comes to life once one of the names of the Most High is placed inside of it. It comes to life. Once you take the holy name of God out of it, it can't do nothing. It's lifeless. It's lifeless. Okay? A lot of the so-called nigger race or the black race say that they were created out of mud, and that's why their skin is the complexion that it is. Some say they are light beings. So when you start talking about light, that's the solar energy, because many of the black people say they are children of the sun. Some say they was created out of the mud. Some of them saying they was created out of, there's children of the sun. And there's a lot of things going on here where they say that some of the Caucasian albion people can't even stand in the sun because the UV rays will give them skin cancer and that they will die. Okay, so it's just really an interesting topic when you start talking about the golem being created with the use of the words abracadabra, or, those are words of power. All right, those are considered words of power. The names of God is considered words of power. And once removed from the golem is lifeless. It sounds like the children of Israel a little bit. You know what I'm saying? It does sound like the children of Israel to me. A lot of these stories, they put bits and pieces here and there. And we have to break through layers and layers of mind control. It's important for us to break through layers and layers of mind control and be able to get down to the truth, our truth, because everybody's truth is a different angle of the same story. So again, just to reiterate, the war breaking out in heaven. Okay, that's in Revelations. And then the story of the wrestling, or I would say the wrestling and the war from Ephesians, is the same thing somehow. It's not against flesh and blood, but wickedness in the heavenly realms or in high places, corruption in the heavenly realm. It doesn't even make sense. It's like, how do we make sense of it without committing blasphemy? When you think about corruption in the heavenly high places, when the Most High, being the Most High, and his realm obviously is at the pinnacle height, and there is nothing above the Most High, how do we read that passage and not think that there was a fight that broke out because someone wanted to stand up to the Most High's corruption? I'm just saying, that's the epiphany that I got. That your circumstances that you're going through is due to the Most High. Some of us feel like we are in corrupt situations and have been bombarded with corruption or things that have been done to us in a corruptive manner. Your prayers is going up, or you feel like your prayers aren't being answered, but someone wanted to stand up to the corruption in the heavenly realm, listen to the story now. Go back and listen to the story at that point of knowing that information. There's so many of us that feel like bad things have happened to us in our lives, and we done worship God so much and we don't understand why is this. I'm a good person, people say. I have a very close companion. She like fuck God and fuck the devil. You know what I'm saying? I could understand where it come from. She done tried being good. She done tried walking on the dark side. She's trying so many different things, and all she's trying to figure out truly is, why did her life turn out like this when she feels she's a good person? And this is a story of many people. Why is God allowing this to happen to me? I don't even like to use the word God. Why is the Most High allowing things like this to happen to me? I'm a good person. So I'm just saying that in my brain, the connection to the dots, someone wanted to stand up to the corruption. It didn't work out. They got thrown the fuck out. Bitch, get the fuck out of here. Fuck you mean you trying to stand up to me? How dare you? I do what the fuck I want to do. Get this motherfucker out of here. And anybody else who wants to have his ideology that's agree with him, get them the fuck out of here. Put them the fuck somewhere else. And make sure them motherfuckers can't come back up here with that bullshit again. I do what the fuck I want to do. I'm the Most High. I'm just, forgive me, but I'm just, speaking. Who the fuck are y'all to come contest me? Get the fuck out of here. Whatever the scenario is, I just want you guys to focus on gaining wisdom with those two passages together, and don't separate the two of them. They go together. I don't give a fuck where they placed it at in the Bible. One in the beginning and one in the end. They go together because this is what the war is over. All right? And the war is still going on. Whether it be internally inside of you, casting out energies that you picked up, whatever the war is for, I just want you to rectify your affairs inside of yourself, because supposedly this life is just a test. I want you to remove the word test and put experiment. You're being experimented on. You don't even know you're being experimented on for the simple fact that you have so many distractions going on in your life that you're not able to listen to that voice inside of you. They don't want you to hear the voice inside of you. They want to silence that voice inside of you. So they put you with all kind of distractions. I'm going to say religion can even be one. We need you to start listening to the voice inside of you by silencing everything around you and just listening to the voice inside of you, because it will give you everything that you need. They're going to say, oh, that's the jinn whispering to you. Don't listen to that jinn. Whatever. Listen to the voice inside of you. How else are you going to be guided? This is an internal process, life. People, you meet other people who may have been through certain things that you went through, but y'all processed it different. It's a similar, scenario, but the process that you went through internally is different from the next person. So yes, you're being experimented on, and you don't even have a clue. If this life, the books is telling you that this life is but a test, the test to distinguish the good from the evil. Okay? It's an experiment. You're being experimented on. We need to start knowing what these words that are being used. We need to know every context, antonym, synonym of these words, definition. You know, you need to know all of these things. The etymology. We need to study words, dialect, and know what's being said. And that's really all I wanted to put forth today. Thank you for tuning in. I hope that I have been a benefit for your mind. I hope that I have been a benefit for your soul to quicken it and wake it up. For your sight, for you to see, for you to hear, for the truth to resonate inside of you, and for you to be able to find things to add on to what I'm putting out. This is not a disrespect to anybody. This is a truth that I would like to put out there on the table to be studied. So please leave your information, whether it be good or bad, how you feel about the information the points that I'm trying to bring forth from my divine inspiration. And like, share, comment, subscribe. And thank you for tuning in, the daughter of the old wise serpent, Isis Mary Sophia. Peace and love.
Abracadabra like magic, they call me Lord Aberastus. Abracadabra like magic, raise the dead out the caskets, send them offers in a basket. Abracadabra like magic, words of power can be tragic, words of power can be tragic. This one here is a classic, this one is a classic. Call her Maria, switch up the flow, let me call her so